Okay, what I want to touch on today is I have something kind of different that most people don't necessarily have on their farm. I have two combines, and they are both Gleaner Ks, and they are both similar vintage. One is about 6,000 units newer than the other. One is a regular K, and one is a soybean special, corn and soybean special. And I just wanted to kind of go over the the visible external main differences between the two and talk a little bit about the internal differences between the two machines. So this is the regular K here. Same external physical size. This is the older one. This is a 69 or 70 model, one of the two. It does have the nice cab on it. You could get two different cabs, and you could get an open platform on these. Back when you would order these new. And this one does not have the spring seat. It has a solid seat, but it is fairly comfortable. This does have a blower, not air conditioning. It does not work either. Has a dome light. It has a heater on the floor down there. It does not work either. But this is the combine that I use to cut wheat with, and I never need a heater when I'm cutting wheat, so I have not had the opportunity to want to fix that yet. Now these are 3-speed. You have reverse, first, second, and third, and then this one just has the one lever here. Your ground speed is controlled by pushing this forward and backwards. It has a variable sieve on the transmission drive belt, so you can speed it up or slow it down. And then, so you basically have infinite speed in 3 different gears. So, and then your header height is controlled if you pull up or push down on this lever here. So, your throttle and your choke are here. This does have a gas engine on it, so you got your choke and your throttle. Got all your gauges right there. This is your rock door warning light, ignition switch here, lights, and the heater on and off. I don't know what that does. I think they had this horn rigged up on. That's not factory, and so I guess they put this on there to be able to honk at people. I don't know. Anyway, got this armrest that needs recovered, but like I say, I spend my time with my arm right there. Looks like everybody else did too before I owned it, and so it's kind of worn the padding and the material off, but that's okay. It's fine. It's comfortable enough to run. Now these have your cylinder speed. You can adjust your cylinder speed on the go from inside the cab, and you can also adjust your fan speed from on the go inside the cab. And this is your separator clutch engagement lever. You push that down, and you're combining, and you pull that up, and you're not. This just has the one brake. It's a brake on the transmission. It's a drum, like a parking brake. It's a drum brake on the transmission. Works very well. That's your clutch. And this lever right here is your unload auger. And of course it's got the steering wheel. I'm looking for the Allis-Chalmers piece that goes right here. I think that would be awesome if I could find one of those to put back on here, because those always kind of looked cool. We've always had Gleaner combines and red tractors. We've never had orange tractors here, but I do like the Allis-Chalmers Corporation. I think they had several good things going for them back in the day before they got bought out. So anyway, these have a 66 bushel grain tank on them. This one has the special diffuser thing on it. This is what they call it. It kind of just helps the grain to flow down to the auger a little easier than the other combine over there does not have it, and sometimes it builds up grain up on this front side. So anyway, these have the chain that goes, the clean grain chain. It's not an auger, it's a chain. Let's see if I can get this cover off here. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there you can get a good look at it there. There's the chain, and it brings the grain up It's basically just a chain with a bunch of rubber paddles on it, and it just kind of scoops up the grain from on the bottom side and hauls it up here. And then, of course, you got the auger that takes the grain out that way to the leveling auger. And I tell you what, if this chain right here, which drives this leveling auger, if this chain breaks and this plugs up with grain, preventing the grain from coming out of the clean grain auger right there, you break a lot of things. Don't ask me how I know. The combine plugs up with wheat very fast at that point. So, and these do have a fold-up ladder. So it's got a little latch up here that they latch into. Most of these Ks are missing these side protection screen things. This one I bought had them on here, and it was very well taken. This is a pretty low hour machine here. I'm pretty sure these are the original tires also. So very low hour machine. Now these have a 250 cubic inch Chevy inline 6 gasoline engine in them. Plenty of power for what this is. This is what's called, I think this is a class 4 or a class 5 combine, a class 4 I'm pretty sure. And it's kind of a, it's not as small as an E, it's bigger. This is what replaced the E, I do believe, but it's bigger than an E. It can do more than the E. So, someday I'm going to be looking for a bigger combine. So these two are getting me by just for now. So this has a manual fold auger. Both of these do. You have to fold it out. This one has the smaller standard fuel tank on it, whereas that one has the optional big boy fuel tank on it. That's really all I can say. This is your hydraulic reservoir and your hydraulic pump right here. This is your separator clutch on this side right here, manually engaged. Okay, so let's start talking about some of the differences. Now that you've seen the inside of one, I'll show you the inside of that cab too at the end here, but let's start talking about some of the differences here. So this one is set up for wheat right now. So this has the smaller cylinder pulley on it, which makes the cylinder turn faster, which is what you want for small grains. That's pretty much the only difference up here. The rasp bars on the cylinder are different. There's more of them, and they're a little bit of a finer tooth on this combine. This one over here, you can see this pulley is much bigger. It slows the cylinder way down, and it even shows you a chart. It's on that one over there too, but it shows you the diameter of the cylinder sheave or the pulley. It shows you what the speed would be at high RPM at, like, wide open or whatever. So anyway, and you always want your cylinder to move slower for corn and beans because it does a better job of threshing the larger kernels like that. So the cylinder spacing on these is really easy to adjust. There's just a bolt here, and there's a little gauge that shows you how close your separator distance is. It's on both sides, so you can adjust it evenly. This one over here has the same thing. So anyway, the other thing I've noticed is there's nothing right there. Take notice of this space right here having nothing on it. Okay, now let's go over here. This one has a pulley, or a sprocket right there. And that sprocket drives a, what they call a thresher beater. It's a secondary beater that sits, let me turn the light on here. It sits behind the rattle chain. You can see it up there. It sits right kind of above and behind the rattle chain, which is the chain that carries the clean grain back from the separator. On these Gleaner combines, the separator is up here. The cylinder is up here in the throat of the machine. And so all your separating happens right away. There's no, like the green machines, there's no waiting for the crop to get from there, you know, to somewhere back in here, it's immediate. It comes in with these and goes right into the cylinder and gets threshed right away. There's no wait time as far as that goes. And so then after that, there's a slatted chain with wooden slats on it that goes right here, and it carries the clean grain back up into the shoe so it can get sifted out. Anyway, I went to order a new one of these main drive belts for that machine there, and just even in these 6,000 different, you know, this number difference on here, the belts are different. There was a break between these two combines, and this belt is about 3 inches longer than that one is, and I think it's because this pulley up here is bigger on this one, the drive pulley off the back of the engine. So anyway, pretty much everything else is the exact same as far as that goes. There are a few minor differences. Like I say, you know, the cylinder drive pulley and different things like that. From what I'm seeing right now, I just noticed this is a chain that runs the front rattle right here. Okay, it goes up to that pulley there. This one over here is a pulley the whole way. So, yeah, there's just a few design differences between the two, just in the few thousand that were made between. So, they both have pretty much the same thing going on other than that. Now, this is a higher option machine, being the corn and soybean special. This has the hydraulic header or reel height on it for the grain table that comes with these combines. It has a hydraulic reel up and down. I think this one would have had more lights on it from the factory, and like I said, this one's missing the screen protector thing that's supposed to be on this side, but that's okay. There are a few other differences too, like the tower for the clean grain auger unloader is a little taller. I think it's a design change. Since this one's newer, I think they decided to improve upon this design a little bit, because the leveling auger is way up here instead of being down here somewhere. And there's the difference between the other unloading auger and this one. This one just has that shield over the top, and sometimes it does get grain that doesn't feed out like it's supposed to. So anyway, this one does have the unload or the clean grain chain, just like the other one does. It's not an auger like some of the newer combines are. Same engine, same transmission, except for this one, like I say, has this extra lever. This one actually has the spring ride seat in it, and it also has tilt wheel. If you pull this out, you can tilt the steering wheel back in towards you, or you can pull it and it goes up. So this one has this lever here for the up and down header and the ground speed control. Also has this lever here for your reel speed. You can speed it up and slow it down, and you can also adjust your reel height from here too. Now this also has reverse first, second, third, same transmission as the other one. Choke and throttle are in the same place. This one, however, has warning lights for your cylinder. It's got a little sensor on the cylinder. It's got a sensor on the straw walker. It's got a sensor for the speed of the transmission and the engine and the fan. So it's got more sensors and more gizmos and doodads, but it's pretty much the same combine. And this one does have a tach, and you can switch it between ground speed, cylinder speed, engine speed, and cleaning fan speed. So you can just flip this switch whichever, and it actually does work. This one does have a fuel gauge on it, and it does not work. I need to look at fixing that, but yeah. So anyway, this is a pretty nice machine. I've got this cover off down here, doing some wire fixing that we had some mice get into this last winter. So Anyway, this one has hydraulic brakes on each wheel, plus a transmission brake and a clutch. So this is just a higher option model. It has the same blower. This one does not work either. This one does not have the heater. So I don't know if that was an option or something, or if somebody took it out, but this one does not have it. So this one came with the other pulley and the smaller belt to run that smaller pulley like over there. So you can cut wheat with this machine. It would just take the additional rasp bars on the cylinder, and some other things would need to be adjusted out so it would work. But anyway, my plan today is to put that combine back in the corner of the shed where this one sat all winter long, and put that one back in the corner because I'm through with this one until wheat harvest of next year, and start getting this one ready. I want to get the corn header on it because corn's going to be ready, you know, very shortly, probably 1st of September. So, or you know, the first part of September anyway. So we're mostly just over half the way through July right now. So it'll be time to cut corn, shell corn, before too long. So I want to get this one ready, get it looked over. I've got a few chains I need to replace on this one. So there's a couple things I got to do to it before it's ready to go to the field. So I want to at least get this one in the shed back in the corner and put away for the year, and get the corn header put on this one at least today, which is that's a whole day's worth of work right there, just moving stuff around and blah blah blah. So I was gonna go try to cut some hay this afternoon. We're supposed to be getting some rain Thursday. Today's Monday. We're supposed to be getting some rain Thursday morning, and so I'm on the fence yet about cutting hay. That would give me, you know, today, Tuesday, and whatever time I leave it down Wednesday to get dry. But you know, in Kansas in the summertime, you never know when a storm is going to pop up. And with the rain chances at the end of the week like that, there could be something back building prior to those storms, and I just really would hate to have good quality brome down and it get rained on. So I might wait until next week. We're supposed to be having a pretty dry spell here coming up, as we haven't had as if we haven't had enough dry weather already. We're supposed to be really getting dry here end of or the beginning of next week. So I'll let you know what I end up doing as far as the hay goes. I'll definitely take video of cutting it. I don't have much video of cutting hay up yet this year. So so yes, I will keep you guys informed, and we will talk to you guys later on.